Warning. You are about to enter the propaganda report with Brad Binkley.
Ian Covell.
Warning.
No more fatso, says Pete Hegseth.
Yeah.
Everyone's favorite fanny gets smacked by Trump. And is it the water turning the frogs gay or the steroids? Maybe we'll find out on today's show. This is the Propaganda Report. I am Brad Binkley, joined here by Ian Covell. Ian, welcome back.
Thank you. It's good to be back, Brad. I was gone last week marrying a young couple.
I know.
I mean, I'm not married to them.
Oh, I thought there was a couple and they wanted
It's
a third.
not a throuple. I married a couple together.
Okay. As I was going to say, did they do throuple marriages in a church, or how does that? Did it all three at once, or is it just one at a time?
I am an ordained minister, so I could do...
So all your friends exploit that and have you do their weddings for free.
This is finally my last one.
Damn
it.
So do you break the glass with a barefoot?
No, I don't do Jewish weddings, dude.
Oh, sorry.
I
thought they were all the
they've
same.
They've all been secular weddings.
Yeah,
for
that's
no,
disappointing.
one or two of my friends.
I just wish you would have done one Jewish wedding.
Look, find me a couple of Jews that want to get married, and I'll see what I can do.
We had one. He married a Catholic.
I know, which is interesting. You know, there's a lot of similarities
because he's in
Catholics
Hollywood.
and Jews. You know, Catholics
Right.
just believe that we are the full realization of
Yeah.
Judaism.
And Jews are committing genocide.
That's why
I'm kidding.
Both wears the funny hat.
Dude.
You know, those little hats and stuff. That the
Yeah, they do have
Cardinals
the
and
funny
Popes
hats.
wear.
I'm only kidding, by the way. I'm not saying Jews are committing genocide. That's just the joke people make when they're being insensitive like I am. So it's Bibi Netanyahu that's doing it. Okay, nevertheless, moving on. What's up, Dana? What's up, First Shot? Good to see you guys. Shalom. How do you say that? You can say that
Shalom.
better. Yeah, that's better.
Shalom.
You got that hat.
Shalom, Brad. You
Shalom,
say
shalom.
Oh,
Okay,
shalom.
so, yeah, get that propaganda straight into your veins. That's what we're going to do today. Pete Hegseth unveiled a 10-point military reform plan at Quantico Summit this morning with Trump. And I tell you what, I was on the treadmill. I was at the gym in LA Fitness, and I was only going to go a few minutes. And, listening to Pete Hegseth, I realized that I did, 2 miles, and I'm going straight uphill. Most max I've done in a while. But he came out angry. He came out aggressive. And I have to say, that's why Trump bombed. Trump was doing his same jokes when he came out after Hegseth, but that crowd was terrified of Pete Hegseth because it was a stand down, stand in order. Your hair needs to be right.
That was a bad opening
Shut
set.
that. Yeah, you can't have the open. And Trump's out there going, "Hey, we got 2 N-words. We got this," and none of the jokes landed because they were so afraid to even make a peep. That's like CNN and MSNBC were saying Trump's jokes aren't really landing. It's not that they might not have been laughing. It's that they didn't want to find out what Hegseth might do to them.
I guess
if they
we found out
did.
who all the DEI people were.
Right, yeah, they're
Everyone
gone.
that wasn't laughing.
Oh, the ones that are-
Hegseth was about to lock the doors and assassinate everybody.
So Hegseth comes in, and let me give you my basic overview. I'm not going to go through the entire 10-point plan, but I watched half of it. Basically, no more fatties, fags, or females is basically kind of the short conclusion there. Not literally, but no more DEI. No more dudes in dresses.
No more
back
dudes
to
in dresses.
merit-based.
I loved that.
Back to physical fitness. No more worrying about your gay feelings. They're going to make hazing great again. Generals don't have to pussyfoot around your emotional and psychological issues.
It'll just be just like Full Metal Jacket.
No, yeah, right. Hard R. No more pussy shit.
Yep. No more pussy shit.
Hopefully it doesn't turn out like Full Metal Jacket for the guy who ended up playing Kingpin in the future. But this is real war now. And while I do appreciate, and I'm not kidding when I said I ran a lot further than I realized because I was listening to his speech, God, he's coming out hardcore. And it is motivating to have that type of pump you up type of talk. But I don't think this is being done for no reason here. I think there's definitely a war, but just a few more things that I picked up from the speech, which is this is no longer the Department of Defense. This is definitely the Department of War, because defense is what you do all the time, and war is, when you conquest,
But
we
here's
go
the
out
thing.
to
But
fight
here's the
for
thing.
peace.
Is it better or worse for you that they're finally calling it what it is?
Well, it used to be the Department of War. They've always called it the
Right.
Department of
But the-
War before
But I'm saying,
wars,
is
and they
it better
changed
or
it after
worse?
wars.
Right. Is it better or worse to just call it what it is?
Well, for me,
or
I've
kinda,
already know. I've always
give
known
it
what
a
it is.
euphemism.
But like,
What's
yeah, it's just a matter of what the general public. I think it definitely sets a tone for
Mm-hmm.
where the direction is going, and I think it is good if you're going to join the military because you do know what you're getting into.
Well, that's
You're
what I'm saying.
if you join the military, you're going to be going to some sort of conflict.
Dude, this is what I'm saying. I'm tired of being bullshitted to and being fed euphemisms.
Well,
I
you're
like
still
it.
being bullshitted too. You're still gonna be,
yeah.
You're still going to
yeah,
convince people
whatever.
to go fight for something.
Don't
that's
ruin
not
my day.
Actually,
Let me have one day.
I would
Hegseth
love to
got
do
me
military
hard
training
today,
if you
Brad.
separate the war from it. I think it'd be a beneficial thing for every single human being.
You never let me enjoy propaganda, Brad. Ever.
Well, I know because I've talked about this a lot lately because of the Charlie Kirk thing, where it's like it's no fun being the guy who says, wait a minute, because even the conspiracy theorists can get mad at me now because I'm calling out the trap that's being laid to damage their trust. But that's a whole nother story for that. But like, yeah, it's just it feels good, but also I don't like people dying. I don't like conflict. I want world peace. I know it's an ideal that's never going to happen, but I don't. The enemies that are made up, it's always there's individuals and human beings beneath all of that, and it's people up wherever. And we're talking about North Korea and how North Koreans are not as smart as cats, and they be on the side of the road, run over by cars everywhere over here.
Yeah,
but yet they have nuclear bombs. But there are individuals over there that are real individuals. And I don't know why I brought the cat analogy in.
Would you star or want to be on a reality show where you and a bunch of other contestants snuck into North Korea
And pet them, like made them.
and pet them and try to tame them?
I told Ian before the show that I think that I could win a fight against every North Korean at one time.
Yeah, I think that's... I'd like to... that's a good reality show.
That's a great
Go in.
reality show. They say,
Go in
was
with
it
just ordinary
man versus
contestants
99
go in.
gorillas? How about man versus
Yeah.
American versus...
12 contestants go in and try to take over North Korea.
And in 15 minutes, you're going to have to stretch it out. A lot of commercial breaks. Dennis Rodman almost took over. I'm surprised Dennis Rodman didn't become president of North Korea. He probably could have.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the photos? It looked like I would look when I was 10 if I got to meet Michael Jordan, the way Kim Jong-un or Il, whichever one it is, was looking at Dennis
They love
Rodman.
basketball. They love Hollywood. You know about the whole, like, they kidnapped some South Korean movie stars and made them make movies for them? Do you know this whole story?
No.
It's
I
some
didn't know
crazy
that.
stuff. We don't want to get in a tangent, but yes, I
Are they
think it was
good
Kim
movies?
Jong Un's father or grandfather kidnapped the two. Imagine if they kidnapped like George Clooney in his prime, and I don't know who Sandra Bullock in her prime.
That would be
They
so
kidnapped
funny.
them. Imagine
Oh, that'd
if
be
Russia
so
kidnapped
funny.
them, or the Soviet Union kidnapped them and forced them
yeah.
to make films in the Soviet Union.
About how great,
Yeah.
like, the Soviet...
Just
oh,
that's
man,
they were
it's
just
so
into
good.
all that entertainment. They really liked it.
And they
liked
probably
making
did
movies.
private.
They loved
Yeah, it was
Hollywood.
all to glorify the. Yeah. And also, I say the only person that Kim Jong Un likes almost as much as Dennis Rodman is Donald Trump. He loved Little Rocket Man, loved Donald Trump, but
I love that.
no more fatties, no more unshaved lady beards because you have to have your hair. That was part of the directive. It's basically like, all right, queers, cut your hair, get the purple out of it. You're gonna have to do 2 fitness
Get
tests
out of
a
that
year.
dress and do some push-ups.
Here's what he said here. He said, we're working. It's a couple of his lines here.
Okay.
Oh, wait. No, that's what I said. He didn't say we're working out bitches every day now. But he did say we're going to be exercising every single day. And he did say no more fat, slouching people. No more dudes in dresses, as we said. He said from now on, every member of the joint force at every rank is required to take a PT test twice a year. which was not required before, but he said as of now, I'm going to be mandating that. And they're also going to have to take, and this kind of threw me a little bit, they're also going to have to meet height and weight requirements twice a year, every year of service, and they will have to take height and weight tests twice a year to make sure they. Is that for people who get their legs blown off during war if they no longer? Because if you're 18, you're going to be growing. I'm just a little confused why you have to take a height test twice a year unless you're trying to weed out the.
No. Height and weight. They're looking for your BMI. They're trying. That's what he's saying. He's not looking for either. He's not looking for either of them.
He's
looking for the combos
twice a year.
No, he's looking.
We
for
need
what
to
the
make sure
two-
you're still tall enough.
That's not what he's saying.
That's not what this is.
That's not what he's saying. No.
I thought he's trying to weed out the double amputees and these 70-year-olds.
No.
I'm mistaken, Pete. So it's a combination
Yeah, he's trying to find out
of your body mass.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
he should have been
doesn't want
clear.
you to be 5'2" and 200.
So those guys, those double amputees who wheeled out of there in disdain, ready to fight, should come back in. BMI is body fat index. How do you figure your BMI? Does anybody know that?
Yeah, you do your height and your weight.
Yeah. I just find a nurse. I'm like, do my BMI.
Yeah,
And
I think that
they're
you
like-
can also use calipers.
Is that the thing that they used
And
to
you
do
could
in high
also
school?
do like water displacement. Like dunk
Yeah, no
yourself in
fat
the
chicks,
tub.
no shorties. No aging people whose bones are crippling, and no double amputees. Okay,
Jeez, what kind of military?
where's
What
Steve?
are we gonna have without trannies and amputees?
Steve Cap. Yeah. Well, the trainers can be there. They just gotta
They
come
gotta
back.
stop
He did
being
say.
trannies. They got to go back into disguise like normal people.
Look, it's so ridiculous that you have to make this a military. That's what a military is, and I think growing up until recently, and I don't want to say that people who are in the military now or joined in the past few years aren't tough. Probably most of them are actually.
What do you think though, when a Democrat inevitably gets reelected? When they go and overcorrect, do you think they're gonna call all the generals and just be like, "All right, every one of you has to do something gay right now.
Yeah, and it starts with letting me suck you off.
You better all be gay."
Yeah.
Like, what are they? How are they gonna overcorrect?
So
for this?
here's they kind of like. It was disingenuous, but on CNN they were talking about, what do you think about this? And they were all, well, this is just awful, but I didn't really buy it. But one guy did ask this question, which was hilarious to me. He says, this was during one of their noonday shows. I can't remember the guy's name, but they were discussing the new directives right after Hegseth's speech. And he said this, and I stopped what I was doing and I wrote it down immediately because I was like, that's the stupidest question I've ever heard. He said to his expert guest, he said, do you actually believe that these changes will really make the military stronger? And I'm like, wait, will these will trading fat trannies for physically fit and constantly training men and women who can meet those merit-based standards, will that really make the military strong? That's a question they debated. For what kind of question? That's like,
Man, this is what infuriates me.
Ian, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you think that replacing the tiny tummied, small mouth vegetarians with 300-pound lard asses who could swallow a T-bone whole, do you really think that would help our hot dog eating team?
I can't tell you. I don't know. I don't know, Brad.
Well, that's what Pete Hegseth thinks. Now, this irritates you that they have this conversation about, is it really going to be better to have people who can fight?
Well, it irritates me when they play dumb. It irritates me when they get real passionate about stuff like this, and then it irritates me when they play dumb like that. They know exactly. They know that if you have more fit people.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
If you're in the middle of combat, Ian,
Mm-hmm.
do you really think that It's any more difficult to carry a 175-pound in shape person off the battlefield than it is to throw a 350-pounder over your shoulder? Seriously?
Brad, I don't have an opinion on this. I don't know. I don't think about these kinds of things. I leave these to the experts, okay? Like scientists.
You're telling me that people would really feel safer with a physically fit, in-shaped, well-trained warrior getting their back than a purple-haired, 475-pound transgender? Is that really what you're saying here?
Yeah,
Do you really want to go on the record?
And this is how liberals answer. This is their strategy. They go, I don't know why you're making such a big deal out of this. Why is this so important to you? You know, I mean, there's just so many other things, so many other problems happening in the military, in the world, and this is the thing you're going to focus on?
So, yeah, that's what Hegseth started. Hegseth started with something that I don't know if it's going to help the people he's talking to, but he did say he fired a bunch of people. But he said the new standard is something like, we're going to train and treat our units in every branch of the military as though our son or our grandson or daughter, if she meets the requirements, is in that unit. Who would you want having your son or grandson's back? And I think the answer is pretty obvious on that. Mm-hmm. Unless, of course, they want their kid to die, then I don't know. So, yeah, CNN was very disingenuous about it. Now, maybe the president will come on. I don't know, because Trump, as we mentioned at the top, worst person for Trump to follow. I mean, this was like scared straight is what this was.
It has nothing to do with Trump. It just has to do with the vibe and the tone that's set.
Yeah, let me give you a little bit of Hegseth here, just to show you.
It's like
what
it's
his
like
tone
trying
was.
to do stand-up comedy after a funeral.
Right.
You know, you just can't.
Or
can't
at a
follow
funeral.
Or at a funeral.
I did a few. I tried. I threw a few jokes out at my parents' funeral.
I bartended at a wake once, which was interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
You
The
had
guy
chicks there?
died. The guy was a retired college professor who died on a scooter, riding a scooter around Atlanta. He got hit
Are you
by a car.
serious?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, and it was all the his kids and the family and
Was
stuff.
he hit by a
and
car?
I think so, yeah.
It's terrible, man.
Yeah. But the good thing about bartending when I was a catering bartender is you can just get hammered at work because you're the only one there. You don't have a boss looking over your shoulder. I mean, you do, but
Yeah, right.
know,
but they're,
it's really easy.
they're probably selling cocaine or something in the back. Okay, so what's up, JC? All right, this is a little bit of Hegseth. Was that recent? Did I know the person that happened to?
oh, this was years ago. I haven't done that in like 15 years, Brad.
Okay, I'm just that's sad.
No, that was kind of right when I moved here. One of the
Yeah.
first jobs I had. It's been about 15.
Yeah, I mean the scooter.
What about the scooter? No,
The
that's
guy
what I'm
who
telling
died on a scooter.
you. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. That I did that when I first.
It's very dangerous with the scooters and the people and the cars and the bicycles all converging, and it really is.
It is. I would never ride a motorcycle or a scooter around.
Yeah,
Atlanta.
sounds like the perfect job for an alcoholic. This first shot. It's first shot.
Yeah, well, I don't
right.
drink very much at all anymore, but I used to.
Here's a little bit of Hegseth's tone here.
Without addressing the problems in our own commands and in our own formations.
Like, he didn't say it there, but we all heard faggot. Like, we all heard it.
Yeah, he should have pointed out a few. He should have pointed out someone and had them ejected.
Come
like
up here.
certain people just taken out. Yeah.
You. With the I know, show me your panty, because he even said during it, he said we're bringing hazing back. Basically, the hazing has been weaponized. The term.
This administration has done a great deal from day one to remove the social justice, politically correct, and toxic ideological garbage that had infected our department, to rip out the politics.
Oh, I love it.
No more identity months, DEI offices, dudes in dresses. No more climate change worship.
This audio is their stuff, by the way. Not me.
Okay, I didn't
No
know
more
that.
division, distraction, or gender delusions. No more debris. As I've said before,
He's so intense, the audio is getting anxious.
and will say again, we are done with that shit.
You faggots.
God, I love it.
Yeah. No, he really hammered that home. And it just seems so obvious that a military is not going to do stuff like that. It's weird.
That's a guy I could go have drinks with. You get into a lot of trouble having too many drinks with a guy like Pete, though.
You saw a video of him at the Minnesota Vikings game. Did you see that?
Uh-uh.
He was dancing and shit. I don't know if he was
Yeah.
drunk. He just celebrated. But and I want to say again, I don't think that there's a ton of people in the military or that are like what he's describing. What I recall is the ads that were appealing to females with two moms, like lesbians, and just TikTok videos of people who are overweight. I think that's probably the minority of people in the military. I think that probably most people in the military who joined are still badass, but just the culture and the identity of it that's being presented publicly because they're going to be doing recruiting is what they're going to be doing.
Yeah. Got a lot of drone pilots, you know? Got a lot of drone pilots.
All you Discord guys, get out of Discord.
Yeah.
Get out of the video game. Get out of, what's it called? It's called, what's the game where you just fly around empty open space for hours upon hours, endlessly?
Yeah.
That our
What's that
friend-
again?
What's that game where people just fly around endlessly for
the
hours
No
upon
Man's
hours?
Sky?
No Man's Sky.
Dude,
The-
I got suckered into spending $60 on this fucking game.
Dude, see, our friend
Josh
was
really
saying,
sold me
yeah,
on it.
he sold it to you, and he told me that you were in it because he did the same thing to me. And I said, dude, you can't play this game and do anything in under 3 hours. It's
mean-
the most.
It has me making machines on foreign planets, and then storms happen. I'm like, come on, let's play Helldivers.
And that's what modern warfare is going to be, right? And then you go to Helldivers. and
Helldivers
Now
is
you're
fun.
OEO. Is that what it is? Is that the Helldivers is where the alleged shooter, the guy who was arrested,
Oh yeah.
where some of the
Yeah.
memes came from. He says for a guy who
Catch
doesn't
this
drink a
fascist.
lot.
Oh,
Well, we
yeah,
always
yeah,
talk
make
about it.
fun.
We used to drink a lot together.
We used
have
to drink
of
a lot, but
stories, so,
never anymore. Brad and I have some fun drinking stories.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, we do. We do. Lucky to be alive, quite honestly. All right, so then Trump follows him up, and if maybe we can get the president on, maybe not. But this is just part of what Trump followed Hegseth up with, and this is one of his jokes here, which in any other circumstance I think would have gotten a really good reaction. But this was Hegseth, not a good opener for Trump's routine.
And it was really a stupid person that works for him mentioned the word nuclear. I moved a submarine or two, I won't say about the two, over to the coast of Russia, just to be careful, because we can't let people throw around that word. I call it the N word. There are two N words, and you can't use either of them.
You're
You
that
can't use either of them. And
Dude,
nothing.
that needs to be. I just want to see a statue of him and the quote underneath it.
Two
That's such a
N-words, and
great quote.
nuclear and
God, it's
whatever
such a
the other
funny-
N-word is.
yeah.
Not one, because this audience was definitely not warmed up. They were convinced that to laugh is to be kicked out of the military. They were so terrified. And Trump is just so laid back. Yeah, and he even has his demeanor. He does does feel like he just woke up from an afternoon nap and immediately came out on the stage with his delivery here. Like,
Hey man, you can't
can't
have
always
home
be on.
runs every time. You can't
and he
always
is
have home-
performing
and-
all the time. Naggers.
And
is
you
it
know,
Naggers?
it has a lot to do. Like you've tried to do like improv during the day
It's the
or
worst.
comedy during the day.
Corporate improv
Yeah,
outside.
or corporate improv
like, it
outside,
sucks.
and they don't understand that you need a microphone.
Yeah. Right. You're just screaming. It's awful. And here he is doing it to half the crowds wet themselves at this point. Thanks a lot, Pete. So he could, if it's normal Trump, if it's like nighttime Trump, he could be gesturing to Pete really work, like he could be making jokes, lightening the mood. So that would be an interesting battle to see Trump winning the crowd back over, and then Pete Hegseth kind of stepping on the stage and just like sneering at them. You know? Oh.
Yeah.
So who do you think the
Obviously
war
terrified.
is
What?
going to be with? Who do you think we're going to go to war with? Iran, Russia, China?
I don't think you always have to go to war, but I do think you have to fucking get out there and flex a little bit, Brad. You know, I don't necessarily think you have to go to war, or there has to be major conflict.
Here's a statement that they said that stuck out to me. This is just the first part of the paragraph. But Hegseth said, President Trump rightly pointed out that when he changed the department name from the Department of Defense, that the United States had not won a major theater war since the name was changed. Almost like it's time to win a major theater war. Let's change it back.
Well,
That's the attitude, anyway. I hope not. I hope there's not a war. If it's just to get people fired up for recruiting, then okay. But
I don't know. If you're
We
going to
shall
go to war,
see.
though, if it's going to happen, you might as well fucking commit and win.
yeah, they could have all been gay and butthurt about the speech. That's true. Yeah, they might have all been. Yeah, maybe Trump, if he would have done some, how about the white nationalist, Pete Hegseth? What a racist. And maybe he would have got a round of
but
applause.
we haven't really had, you know, our generation hasn't really experienced war. We don't know what that's like to have these long, I mean, to feel the pain of it. You know, my grandparents
Yeah.
had victory gardens, right?
Yeah.
Like
Right, I mean, yeah.
So they all chipped in. You know, it was they all sacrificed for it. You know, in England they had rations.
Bond. Don't you know we're at war? Everybody had top hats and
Yeah. You know, I mean,
selling
it's,
bonds.
we haven't experienced that, and that's probably how they keep us compliant. Is
Right.
doing just enough war that we don't have to feel it.
And keeping it far away from us.
Yeah, like Rome did to their people.
He made a lot of Rome comparisons during
Well,
that speech,
look.
but a lot of people make Rome comparisons. Well, we'll see. This with everything going on in the world right now, and the world getting smaller and smaller with the social media, and I think that I don't know. It feels like we're on the precipice of something. Hopefully,
I
it's not
agree.
over here.
Yeah, that and you know, couple that with the fact that our society is breaking down one maniac at a time weekly.
We got one maniac at a time that's breaking down over here, over there, the bomb and the Japs. Mary! It's
Yeah.
my impression. It's Jimmy Stewart. He was a pilot in the war, by the way. Did you know that Jimmy Stewart was a pilot?
Did not know that.
Yep.
Like a fighter pilot or a cargo pilot or what
He
kind
just
of
flew a little
pilot?
tiny plane back and forth to his family home.
Oh.
No, he was a pilot. He was like a
Alright.
fighter pilot. He was in the Air Force, I think.
Okay.
But he was definitely a pilot. He's a badass, Jimmy Stewart. If you look into his background, he's like a real. Because remember back then, people be playing like college football, or they'd be playing a professional sport. Then they'd stop playing. They get drafted. And he was already in the movies. I think he got drafted and goes to war.
Right. Didn't Elvis? He joined the military, didn't he?
Briefly, I think. I don't know. I don't know what he did there, but yes, he did. I think like everybody joined the war back then. You know, my uncle was in
Well, he wouldn't
Vietnam.
join World War II, but
Yeah. Well, he went back and joined World War One. He took
he
Hitler's
went back to
time
World
machine.
War I,
yeah.
right.
He thought it was easy. Like, it'll be easier. to do World War.
That would have been the more frightening of the two wars.
Yeah.
I've often
Oh.
thought World War II, the only thing to be is a fighter pilot. I think.
Yeah. This
Easy- it's
lining
a
up
quick
combat,
death. It's a
you
quick
know.
death.
And I think with all the drone warfare and technology, which has been like we're testing all that stuff in Ukraine and Russia. That's the testing ground for all of this. And killing from further and further away, I think probably makes it easier and easier for people, especially when people have been doing it on video games and stuff. That it's like, what's the difference?
You ever see
Some of the
Ender's
stuff.
Game or read the book Ender's Game?
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
whole.
Elvis was drafted but didn't go, said Zach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, it's very Ender's Game like. I mean, that's crazy.